Welcome to Rye House Kart Raceway, just outside London, a circuit where Formula One world champions Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button first began their rise to fame. Each year it's host to the Josh O'Malley Memorial Cup, a race meeting held in honour of a hugely respected national karting champion who was still in his 20s when he sadly lost his life to cancer.
My son was a kart racer. He started here when he was racing when he was 10 years old, and same time as Lewis Hamilton. Lewis was, I think, 8 or 9, so we go back a long way. But then, unfortunately, he was diagnosed with cancer when he was a young man, and 2012 he lost his battle. So we've had a memorial race so that all the people that remember racing with him or being taught by him come back and have a good day's racing and remember how much he was important to them. As a family, we bought him a kart for a bit of fun, and one of my friends said to me, you know, he's got a bit of talent, so you ought to go down to Rye House. This was our nearest track, so we came down here. We had an old kart which he trundled round on, and we found that he could even win even on an old piece of equipment. Then by the time he was 21, he won a national championship, and then from the sort of 22 onwards, he was taking more interest in teaching others how to drive, and he really did love, you know, the 8-9-year-olds, showing them how to race the lines and improve their timing, and so that was his main thing. And then when he was taken ill, it was obviously more difficult, and he spent probably 2-3 years fighting the bowel cancer, and in the end, unfortunately, lost his battle.
Josh O'Malley is very much a people's person, a racer through and through. I race him myself, and Josh was very competitive. He will never give an inch, although he'd probably take a mile, but great bloke, really good guy, and sadly missed by everybody at Rye House.
The vast majority of professional racing drivers start their careers in karting, and at Rye House, children can begin competing from as young as 6 years of age.
To develop that racecraft so young is definitely important. It's not so much the outright pace, it's the racecraft you develop from experience, which will get you through the field. So I mean, I've been a couple of tenths off in some races sometimes, and from pure racecraft, it's got me through towards the front. So yeah, definitely, it's important to start early and drum it into the kids. Not so they're still having fun, but just make sure they're developing with their racecraft and they know where they're going with it.
The Bambino Class provides an entry level into the sport, with 6 to 8-year-olds competing in a series of time trials. This gives them an opportunity to develop the basic skills of kart control, though there's also some opportunity to develop their overtaking skills with everyone on track together. Having had 3 heats and with a target time to aim for, the drivers gave it their all in the final session. The number 11 kart of Joey Brown posting the 4th fastest time. Just 1/10 of a second quicker was Sherry Ann Powell, but that was enough to give her a place on the podium. And only half a tenth quicker than Sherry Ann was Callie Clifford, 2nd place in the number 80 kart. But the standout performer on the day was Ryan Glendenning, averaging over 41 miles an hour and more than a second a lap faster than his nearest rival. More than enough to give him top honours in the Bambino category at this 4th running of the Josh O'Malley Memorial Cup. And who knows, perhaps one day these youngsters will be following in the footsteps of 3-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Although fiercely competitive, karting is very much a family-oriented sport, a great opportunity for parents and their children to bond, whilst at the same time learning how to become successful.
My main role is just to be supportive and encouraging him out on the track, really. For me, as long as he's enjoying it, that's the key thing. It isn't all about the winning, it's more about the enjoyment.
If they're not right mentally, they don't enjoy the day, and they don't have good times and good racing as well. Not to the extreme where you pushing them, but you have to just give them a little bit of an edge.
It's a bit scary to know there's my little girl going around, but at the same time she's very confident in the kart, she drives well, and it makes me really proud, so I've stuck with it.
We develop as a team, so me and my dad connect more, and he's been doing it since he was young, so I thought I'll start as well. Plus we get along really well and we just do our thing really.
Once drivers reach the age of 8, they can begin racing in earnest with the Honda Clubman Cadet category.
The Cadet Club is really hard and it's really challenging, but it's really fun too.
So we're all set for the Honda Clubman final here at Rye House. On pole, number 54, Daniel Ginchard, as they get underway. A very good start for Billy Mottram, number 44 from the outside of row 1, but a better start on the inside for the 00 of Darrell Taylor, who'll go through into 2nd place. You've got Keane Berta then trying to be in 4th place, just ahead of fellow novice driver Emily Palaki, down into the first of the hairpins here, and it's Ginchard that leads from pole position. 2nd place for Daryl Taylor, the reigning club champion here. 3rd place for Billy Mottram, 4th number 15 Keane Berta, and up to 5th place has come number 50 Adam Brown as they make their way into Pylon Bend for the first time. Crowd on their toes here. Fantastic race we have on our hands, and we're on to the 5th lap of the race, and it's no change between 2nd and 3rd. They are still nose to tail. Daryl Taylor through Stadium Bend, being harassed by number 44 Billy Mottram, who's trying to find a way through. And look at this, number 11 Flip Paulick, defending and weaving and blocking as he tries to keep Danny Raymond at bay. Spencer Baldwin also involved in that furious battle, still there together, 2nd and 3rd. The race leader pulling away, but the red flags have come out. The race is being stopped, and that's why Tate Allington has had a crash. He's being attended to, and the race then is going to be cut short. The win will go to Daniel Ginchard. So the final result sees Daniel Ginchard claiming the title from Daryl Taylor and Billy Mottram. Keane Berta, Adam Brown and Christian Dinkoff complete the top 6.
I feel really happy, and the race was really tough. Well, like in the first 2 heats I pulled away, but in the final they kept with me, so it was a bit harder.
So well done to our top 3, Daniel Ginchard, Daryl Taylor and Billy Mottram. We move on then to the Honda Cadet category for the more experienced drivers, though you can enter both Clubman and this category, as has Daniel Ginchard, who's on pole position and looking for a victory this time, having been on the podium in that Clubman class. He leads them into Stadium Bend for the first time in the number 54 kart with the onboard camera. Behind him, number 58 is Aston Wigley with the blue helmet and the orange race suit of Harrison Fox. He's next up in 3rd place as they go into the hairpin, and there's contact in the middle of the pack there. 55 Kasper Souza is forced out wide, so too Bradley Hardy, and into the barrier, I'm afraid, was the number 51 kart of Marcel Filipiak. So that has split the pack up. Others were delayed as well, but most of them have been able to continue on their way. Here, though, are our lead quartet, at the back of which in 4th place is Liam Hurrell, number 63. And then you've got 22 Harrison Lambert with a good start, and 85 Harley White just behind him. So into Stadium Bend, our top 4 absolutely glued together here at the head of the pack. 54 Daniel Ginchard doesn't know where to look at the moment because they're all over him on the way into the hairpin. You go on board with the race leader. He's got Aston Wigley and Harrison Fox for close company. And then just a slight gap back to 4th place to Liam Hurrell as they make their way out of the 2nd hairpin down towards Pylon Bend. And then it looks like number 66, Jake Yilmaz, a former winner of this event in Cadets a couple of years ago, has made his way up at the head of the next group. Yes, he has. There he is in 5th place. 6th place, number 21, Luke Barham. So those two making progress on the 2nd lap of the race. At the head of the pack, we have 3 for company and a challenge for the lead of the race here from Aston Wigley down the inside. And our race leader down to 3rd, because through 2 comes Harrison Fox. So the man with the onboard camera down from 1st to 3rd in the blink of an eye. There he is at the back of the trio, glancing over his shoulder to make sure he doesn't lose any more places. Daniel Ginchard, though, with plenty of time to get the positions back here as they make their way out of the hairpin. And there's a move from number 43 down the inside. That's Connor Clifford ahead of 33 Alfie Moore. Ahead of them both, the recovering number 25 of Bradley Hardy, who's one of the drivers involved in that first hairpin incident. Now, having tumbled down the order, that's 22, Harrison Lambert with a damaged side pod. He was up well on the first lap into the top 6, so too was Harley White, who has dropped back. And now we've got more challenges for the lead and a 3rd different leader as Harrison Fox goes through this time. So the number 29 takes his turn at the head of the pack. This is now the battle for 4th place, number 63, Liam Hurrell with company, and down past the inside of him goes Jake Yilmaz. He takes with him the number 21, Luke Barham. A hint of contact there. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, just a clip, and scooping the rear wheel off the floor was enough to send out wide the 63 of Liam Hurrell, who drops 2 places. Now on board with Daniel Ginchard, who's got himself back into 2nd place and he's challenging for the lead of the race. He'll be followed through by Aston Wigley. You lose 1 place, you lose 2 in this battle. It is so tight between these 3, but great close racing, contact free. And are we going to see more of it on the way to the hairpin? Yeah, lovely move under braking from Aston Wigley. Oh, and then there is contact from 2nd and 3rd, accidental I think. Harrison Fox at the back of Daniel Ginchard. There's more battles here. 19 is Samuel Simpson. Flowerday trying to get up ahead of 33, Alfie Moore. 44 just behind them is Billy Mottram, who featured well in the Clubman race. We're into the closing stages. This is for a place in the top 6. 55, Kasper Skuza recovering well from problems on the first lap. He goes down the inside of 63, Liam Hurrell, who was running in 4th place early on. He goes out wide. Follow me, says Kasper. Will try and catch those ahead, but they are running out of time now. Number 63 will do his best to hang on through the hairpins. And now we have the battle for the lead of the race. Daniel Ginchard with the onboard camera chasing down the number 58 of Aston Wigley, but Aston is almost home and dry. A look over the shoulder, the top 3 still absolutely together, but it's a win for Wigley. Confirmation of the result and a very close finish, with the top 3 separated by less than 0.2 of a second. So how did our Memorial Cup winner Aston Wigley find the race?
Hard and tough. I had Daniel Ginchard and Harrison Fox right behind me. Very close, yeah.
So in first place and the winner of the Perpetual Trophy.
Well done to our podium finishers, Aston Wigley, Daniel Ginchard and Harrison Fox. Join us after the break for more action from Rye House. Welcome back to Rye House. It's sometimes forgotten that karting is a team sport. Behind every driver, a team of hard-working mechanics, family members and driver coaches, all trying to guide them towards that all-important fraction of speed.
I'm looking for consistency, that's the first thing. I'm talking through what they're doing well, what they're doing not so well, looking for their braking points, so making sure that they're going into the corners, late braking, early on the throttle, and they're carrying the corner speed through the corners.
We'll take footage off of the kart, sit in the back of the van, go through all that footage, lines, braking, overtaking opportunities, go through that on a one-to-one basis with every driver in the awning, get them faster, and so far so good today.
0.2 of a second is from 1st to 10th. It's really that close. And when it's for like the top 5 places, 100ths of a second. If you get the tyre pressures wrong or 1 tooth wrong on the rear sprocket, he's out. So you have to be really right on the ball.
Time for the Junior X30 final to get underway. The rolling start is going. Number 51, Alfie Haralambous from pole position, straight into the lead at Stadium Bend. Right behind him though from 3rd, and now 2nd it's going to be Thomas Pegram with a bright green helmet. So Taylor Bellini demoted a place down to 3rd position, breaks a bit late into the hairpin. There's contact, that slows him down rather than anything else, and allows Max Maserati in the yellow suit to get alongside, but then Max is on the outside for the 2nd hairpin, and he's going to wind up losing a couple of places. The big gainer there was 95, Brodie Rivers. There's been a very lively couple of laps to the race here at the top 4, still tied together, and look at that for a move. 3 together now, and that was a big attempt from Max Maserati into the next hairpin. He's got the inside line, but then a spin from Kim Carlson. Kim trying to avoid running into the back of the 2 ahead. Had to brake hard. Watch this replay. The number 16 kart just losing it under braking and almost clipping the back of Thomas Fleming and going into a spin, but quickly recovering. Well, look at that for a move, whipping down the inside. Taylor Bellini from nowhere gets 2nd place back ahead of Thomas Pegram. Wonderful move this, just all over the curbs, just missing the tyres and somehow finding a gap. Here's the flag, it's a win for Alfie Haralambous. So let's take a look at the results. An excellent drive by Alfie Haralambous to take a clear win from Taylor Bellini and Thomas Pegram.
It was quite a good race, to be honest. I started pole, so it was easy from the start, and then I just kind of carried keeping my pace, and it's been a good event, and yeah, it's a good day for me because I won.
So far we've looked at a variety of junior categories, but you don't have to be young to compete. There are plenty of options for adults, and Steve Borre has enjoyed racing here for the past 20 years.
I race every month, a couple of times a month sometimes. Me and my son both race. It's just so enjoyable. I just enjoy racing. I mean, I'm nearly 50 years old and I'm still racing. But then you start racing all these youngsters and they're so much fitter than I am. I have to go to the gym twice a week just to be able to race.
Now time for Senior Rotax Max, one of the most established of karting classes. 125cc action gets underway. Tom Thompson on pole position. Here's the view from further back with Jack Wall, number 25, right onto the tail of Aaron White as they make their way through Reggie's elbow down towards the infield hairpin. But it's 32 Thompson in the lead of the race. Bit of nudging for 2nd and 3rd, but it's George Willis, 53 ahead of 65. Sam Nicolau, the top 6, top 7 all tied together on this first lap of the race. There is Aaron White at the back of the pack trying to chase down number 23, Vicky Kyriakidis. There's Steve Borre, who you heard from before the race. He's on the green plates because he's in the 177 version of the category with a higher minimum weight limit. As we go back on board with number 25, Jack Wall. There he is, and right behind him is another of the 177 runners, Tony Parfett, who squeezes through. Great move that on the way into Stadium Corner, and Tony is leading that category within the class. We're on to the last lap of the race. It's fairly tight, but Tom Thompson has controlled things from the word go here. A glimpse then of number 58, Ryan White, who's gunning on to the tail end of the top three. There is number 46, Tom Bannister, just behind him in 5th place. And Jack Wall still just falling away now from Tony Parfett, who's on for a class win. But it's going to be an overall win for Tom Thompson, who punches the air and crosses the line. Here's a look at the top 10 results, with Thomas Thompson winning the race outright and Tony Parfett in 7th place, winning the 177 class.
It was a great day. I had a terrific first heat. Second heat was finished second. Third heat won it, and the final was comfortable. We won it fairly easy. It's nice to win the Josh O'Malley Cup. It's just nice to come and race here again, really.
Fantastic race, nice dry day, plenty of speed out there. Good day, enjoyed myself. We had to mix it up with some other classes out there today because we're down in numbers, but no, fantastic race.
Next we move on to X30 Senior, a class into which Liam Ferguson has just moved, having been a 3-time Memorial Cup winner in Rotax Max.
To dominate in X30 today, that'll be a big jump for us, and especially for the first time in it this weekend. There's a lot of decent drivers out there today that have already been in it the last year, so we've got a big jump to make up today and try and get up the front.
Well, let's see if Liam Ferguson can get a 4th title. He's starting on pole position after a great day so far. There he is in kart number 65, and there he is in the lead of the race. But with number 97, Aaron Drury, making a good start from the difficult outside row. He holds on to 2nd place, tucking in behind him is Ty Mason, number 78 in 3rd position. The rest of them work their way into the 2nd hairpin. Number 16, Bailey Gregory, forced out a little bit wide there. So coming alongside him in the red suit, number 89, Peter Dell, trying a brave move around the outside on the way to pylon, but that was never going to happen. Meanwhile, through the S's, and to complete the first lap of the race is the leader, Liam Ferguson. A good start for him, but in this unfamiliar kart, this new class to him, is he going to be able to hold on for the race duration? Certainly pressing him is Aaron Drury, and he gets a good run down towards the first hairpin. He's thinking about it, he's going for it, and he's through. Great move that, given just enough room by Liam Ferguson to come through. Liam holds on to 2nd place. He's able to close the door just in time before Ty Mason and anybody else can come through. Let's have a look at this. This was determined coming out of stadium, really. He'd made his mind up, he got the better run and knew he was going to go for it into the hairpin. Good clean move that to take the lead. Now look at this battle that's going on between number 17, Adam Sadler, and going down the inside of him, Andrew Rees-Reynolds, but wide into the next corner. He should have the better line for the right-hander though, and he's able to somehow scramble it back together, although he's a bit wide again there, and causing a bit of a queue to form up behind him, which includes number 32 in that lot, Niall Kay. Here's another battle going on. Peter Dell up ahead of number 12, Kellen Veitch. There are the top 5 all tied together. Number 14, Jonathan Campbell with a black helmet, grey suit, into 4th place and looking for a podium position here. But back at the front of the field, you can see that Liam Ferguson has got his nose back ahead somewhere of Aaron Drury. There in 8th place, we can see Matthew Gibbs trying to catch them all up. So having got back into the lead, Liam Ferguson is now starting to edge away. They're almost home and dry. He's just going to make it through the S's. He's still got Aaron Drury right behind him, but out of the last corner, and it's going to be another victory for Liam Ferguson at the Josh O'Malley Memorial Cup. So it's an unprecedented 4th title success for Liam Ferguson. He takes the win ahead of Aaron Drury and Ty Mason.
In 1st place, Liam Ferguson.
Next, it's time to meet a couple of the likely frontrunners in the fiercely competitive Junior Rotax Max class, the first of which has a significant connection to the late Josh O'Malley, in whose honour the meeting is being held.
This was Josh's old suit, and before he died, he gave his suit to a couple of people that he raced with or knew from racing, and he gave this suit to my friend Zach. And when my friend Zach stopped karting, he gave this one to me, and now I wear it in memory of Josh, just so he's always kind of here when we're racing.
We started about 2010 when I was about 8, 7-ish, and I've currently won the Lead Karting Championship in 2012 and the Formula 6 Championship also in 2012.
massive competition with probably our strongest field we've ever raced against.
So to our final race of the weekend, and it's the man you've just heard from, Mason Ruff on pole position, number 60, right behind him with the onboard camera, Luke Oliver. Into stadium corner they go, and their first and second just tucking in behind is the number 20 of Alexander Burford Fuller, on board with Rio Roda, number 44, whizzing past him, 48, and then sliding wide, and then there's carnage. We got 48, Zach Grinton went off wide, number 30, Samuel Sanders was into a spin, and all of that because it was a patch of water coming out of Reggie's elbow. There's all sorts of water on the track now because the grass is still very wet from some overnight rain. That's going to be tricky on slick tyres as we see Luke Oliver going through the S's to complete the first lap right under the rear bumper of the race leader Mason Ruff, who is now demoted to second place, swinging down the inside. Perfect manoeuvre that from Luke Oliver with the onboard to go into the lead of the race. So the pole sitter is down to second place, and then the race leader runs out wide. Look at the water on the track, slips and slides, and then from fourth place down the inside comes Jordan Brown to get past everybody. Alexander Burford Fuller as well. They're all struggling to stop the carts because they all had water on the tyres. Luke Oliver losing another place here to Warren Miles. So Warren with Josh O'Malley's old race suit into a podium paint position here. But what drama that was coming out of Reggie's elbow, and there was no control at all for the race leader there. Very unlucky. He's already caught the patch of water. Like that sends him sliding and onto the mud and the grass. Then there's a huge puddle of water, and he can't help but hit him, can the former race leader Mason Ruff. So then everybody else is bumping and boring because they can't slow the carts down either. And in the end, it was Jordan Brown that came through to pick up the lead of the race. Number 20 into second place, Alexander Burford Fuller. Luke Oliver back down the inside into the hairpin to gain a place back. So that puts him third. He regains the place from number 22, Warren Miles. There he is with the number 71 cart back up to second place. Mason Ruff trying at least to get a podium out of this as we go back on board with Rio Roden, one of the novice drivers on the black and white plates, giving a really good account of himself here, and right on the tail of the number 63 cart of Taylor Lawrence as they go into the hairpin. Now this is the battle for fifth place. Number 59 looking good at the moment for the position is Joshua Malley. 57 Lewis Borre within those. Dad, we've already seen racing in the seniors. Rio Roden, meanwhile, gains a place down the inside. Finally gets past the number 63 into the hairpin. And there he is, number 44. And following him through, Samuel Sanders, who was the early spinner, trying to regain some places here. There in seventh place is Sean Berry, number 47, out of his own a little bit at this stage. And a great move from Warren Miles, number 22, to get down the inside of Luke Oliver and snatch a position back. So that puts him back up to second. Into the closing stages, Rio Roden, who is still in the top 10, but down to 9th because that's Tommy Spottiswood coming through in kart 14. And from the top 3, out of the race, Alexander Burford Fuller with a problem, I'm afraid. So this becomes the battle for second place. Warren Miles holds it at the moment. Luke Oliver wants to get it back. They're wheel to wheel and 3 abreast almost as number 60 gets in the action as well. Mason Ruff, second, third and fourth all together. Out on his own though, Jordan Brown has controlled things ever since that dramatic first lap, and it's he that takes the final win of the day. And so our final race victory of the day goes to Jordan Brown, almost 5 seconds clear of Luke Oliver and Warren Miles.
Didn't get a good start, but then we come down a couple of laps later, there was a bit of water and we went from, say, like 4th to 1st, and it would just get your head down and go.
Huge congratulations then to all of our podium finishers at what's been a very special event here at Rye House. It's only fitting that the final word should go to Kevin O'Malley.
He was a showman. He took the racing seriously, but around the outside of it, he would have some great fun, and he would just love today. Absolutely love it.